Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. So my own area of Sussex is on the fast-track devolution programme, and whilst this brings challenges and inevitably means that there are parts of the plane we are still building whilst we learn to fly, I nevertheless think that for my constituents in Worthing West and for all residents in Sussex, this devolution of power and resources has the potential to transform our area in terms of health, education, housing, transport and sustainable economic development. So, in this debate today, I would like to concentrate my remarks on Amendment 80, given the shortness of time, which strengthens the ability of licensing authorities in England, Scotland and Wales to issue cumulative impact assessments, or gambling impact assessments. This amendment will give councils a clear, evidence-based tool to assess the cumulative impact of adult gaming centres and identify areas where further gambling premises would undermine local licensing objectives, including vulnerability and clustering.
Will she give way?
I will, of course.
I thank my honourable friend for giving way. Crewe, in my constituency, is currently facing proposals for yet another adult gambling centre, which I've personally objected to. And I wonder if she agrees with me that strengthening gambling impact assessments, as well as the wider proposals in the Pride in Play strategy, allow areas like Crewe and other places in the country to actively shape our high streets. And does she also agree with me that it is now incumbent on local authorities to proactively take up those powers?
I thank my honourable friends, and I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with what he says. And I should say that actually, together with my honourable friends, the member for Hells Owen and the right honourable member for Chingford and Woodford Green, I am an officer of the APPG for gambling harm. So we have been doing significant work on gathering evidence in this area over the past 18 months. Going back to adult gaming centres and identifying areas that have significant vulnerability, I would like to say that the sad truth of the matter is that adult gaming centres are predominantly found in highest numbers in our poorest areas. And areas of deprivation need investment, employment and development, not a drain on resources and an open door to the black hole of addiction. However, this amendment is only the start of what we need to do in this area in order to create environments where our populations can thrive. Aim to permit remains and will hold a tension with gambling impact assessments, as it means that councils must still start from a presumption of granting licences, limiting their ability to respond to community opposition, high street saturation and local priorities, even in areas where there are clear concerns about over-concentration of gambling venues. The Licensing Committee in my own area and Worthing Council have recently turned down yet another request for gambling premises on our high street, but this has now gone to appeal, and the presumption of aim to permit means that the balance of evidence is more difficult to hold, even with sound public health and local economic development arguments. We must therefore continue to develop our legislative approach in this area. Once the impact of gambling assessments has been assessed, we should make a decision on bringing forward legislation to remove aim to permit, to give councils the right powers to protect and develop our local areas. And alongside this, as the impact assessments and aim to permit will only refer to the opening of new centres, we must also ensure that current licences are not being abused and that licensing codes are upheld. This amendment speaks to our national and local government desire to pass and enact legislation that lets people thrive in the places where we live. Creating a healthy democracy with clear objectives and properly resourced alongside legislation that allows local government to protect populations from harm and create healthy environments is an integral part of this devolution bill, and I very much welcome it for both my area of Sussex and across our country.